Stepping up. Hello, you guys.
Hello. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Sam Leah Show, where we're on a mission to become our best selves, and we're inviting you along for the ride.
It is a
I
ride.
missed last week. We missed you guys last week. For those of you who have been watching for a while, you knew that my stepdad was sick. He had gotten a terminal illness diagnosis. It was cancer. Only 8 weeks ago, and 9 weeks ago now, and
Yeah.
8 weeks after his diagnosis, he passed last Sunday. So that's why we missed this. I was dealing with all of that and everything
Right.
that comes with it, but I'm glad to
Right.
be back. And
Back.
and you had a eventful weekend. You have a few eventful weekends this
Oh
month
my
because
gosh.
your girl's back in volleyball.
The next 9 out of 10 weekends, we have something going on, from holidays to travel, for funerals, for
Right.
games, your visit. Like, there's just a lot going on in the next 8
Yeah, and
weekends.
then it's going to be holidays and it's going to be busy.
Yes, yes. So we're trying to just, instead of worrying about how busy it is, just really embrace, like, okay, we're home this week. Let's enjoy being home, and then we'll do that car ride. So the car ride, that's kind of what I want to talk about. First off, like, it's a 4-hour car ride to see my daughter, and a 4-hour
Right.
car ride back. And so in the past, when we've done it, and we've done it a few times, uh, it's boring. There's no clear way to get there. There's 3 options. There's a really far way to get there. There's a straight way, but that's all like 2-lane highway going 55, maybe 65 at some points. And then there's this way where you can jump on the interstate a little bit, but you go an extra like 40 miles out of your way, but you're on interstate.
Mm-hmm.
So we go up the middle, and it's like you're going through the sticks. You're going through hundreds of miles, where not hundreds, but like, maybe 40, 50 miles at a time, where there's no gas station. There's no people. Like, it's just desolate. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's been really boring. And so Jared and I, this time, we would listen to podcasts. And so
Right.
we listened
Okay.
to podcasts, and he was driving, so he'd say stop, and then we'd stop, and then we'd talk about the podcast. And then, like, so it made the time go by super, super fast. And then on the way home, we were in 2 different cars, because we brought Josie's old car home. And so I was in a car and he was in a car. So he was listening to the Bears game, but in between quarters and a halftime and stuff, he would call me and we would talk again about a podcast that I was listening to. So we really found, like, it made it better to just talk.
Mm-hmm.
And the podcast we were listening to was a very interactive, like, what are your thoughts kind of podcast. It's the one I always talk about. It's Sex with Emily.
Yeah.
It's just so good. So it was a lot of call-in people, and so they were telling their stories. So when the person would call in and say their problem, we would hit pause to see what would we give advice,
Mm.
and then we listen to the expert's advice. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're not listening to, and this is not sponsored, but Sex with Emily on podcast, any Apple podcasts that you're watching, she has like brown hair and a tan and cream kind of like symbol for her show. It's just really good. She talks about everything from female orgasms to sex to trying new things to problems to, I mean, no subject is off limits. And so
Does she have people call in every episode?
no, I think it's like every Wednesday's episode is, I think she does like 3 or 4 episodes a week. And so one episode is always for call-ins. And so you have like some bizarre call-ins of like, hey, I caught my wife at the neighbor's house, to like, hey, why is like, this was a good one, a conversation. Why is my boyfriend scrolling social media and liking sexy pictures of strangers, but feels awkward when I send him a sexy pic?
Mm.
And like, so she goes into real in like childhood stuff, how they were raised, shamed maybe as a child for looking at porn, things like. So it was just
Right.
it's just good dialogue to talk about, that kind of stuff in the car. So it made the time go really fast.
Yeah.
But we're going to be doing it the next 3 weekends. So any good
You're gonna
podcast
learn a lot.
recommendations, we're going to need. I think we're going to have listened to all of Emily's at some point. So if there's other good podcasts that you guys enjoy that are more like interactive like that, it's where it creates dialogue and conversation.
Told me about one too. I wonder if I can find it.
Because I mean, those 4 hours, it's a long time in the car. It's a long time.
It's giving. It's
Okay.
giving. Somebody just told me about this one and she said she loved it. I haven't listened to anything yet, but I like saved it so that I can go back. So that might be something that you can check out too.
Okay. We'll definitely try that for sure. So yeah, that's what we did this weekend. We went and watched her play volleyball for the University of Alabama club. They went 3-1. It was fun. It was exciting to see the little boys cheering for her.
I know their little signs were really cute.
We made signs, and it was good to see her back in the gym, like doing what
Yeah.
she absolutely loves. So it was good, but we're going to see her. It's fall family weekend next weekend. So we're going to go watch an Alabama football game against South Carolina, which will be, and it's an early game at like 11 o'clock. So we'll be tailgating at like 8 in the morning, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And then we'll be back home and then go back up again.
Yeah.
So it's just constant, but it's what you do.
Yeah. You're busy. You always have a lot more stuff going on. I guess that's what happens when you have more kids too. I just have one and she doesn't play sports. So it's pretty easy.
Yeah. Well, we're contemplating putting one of the littles in like a league basketball. And I'm just like, I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, the boy can't catch. How are you going to play basketball if you can't catch? I mean, I love Augie. I love him to death, but he can't catch. He can't hit a basketball hoop. Like, he's not strong enough. He's 6. He can't get the ball all the way. So I'm like, what would I be paying to go watch? But then it's one of those, I'm stuck because like, if I don't put him in now, is he going to be behind? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, I played college basketball.
I wouldn't worry about him being behind. I think just do what he want. Does he want to do it?
Yeah, I mean, he's showing an interest. But here's the deal, though. We're in one of those towns where I have this feeling that if you don't get in now with the circle of being like and this is how fucking psychotic I think sports have become for parents. If I don't get my kid in now with the group of athletic kids, will he ever be able to just join that group later? And if you know, you know. If you're listening to this and you know what I'm talking about.
Or because of his athletic capacity at that moment in time, or because he hasn't like created.
No, it's like a clique of you start to have your athletic kids, you start to have your athletic community, the parents that are the sports, like it's a cult of like, is your kid in this group? Is anybody listening know what I'm talking about? Like, if I don't put my kid in now, will we be part of, or will we have to come in as outsiders in like 4th, 5th grade and be like, oh, here we are?
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I don't feel like that's the best reason to get him in out of fear, right? Fear that, well, will we be rejected or will we not be accepted later on? Because first of all, you don't even know if he'll want to do it ever, right? So you're worrying about something that might not even be an issue.
Right.
But second, and I mean, I get it.
Yeah, everybody's saying, I get it. Everybody's saying, this is true.
And like, I guess this comes from somebody who, I mean, I've moved a million times in my life. I was the new girl at fucking every other Tuesday. I was like in a new school. And so I think it's also, maybe don't underestimate the resilience of kids and their ability to join late in the game and make new friends and create new relationships. And I don't think that, I don't know. I don't like doing things just because of the fear, right? Like,
and then like, don't get it twisted. I mean, we're athletic, like our whole family. Jared and I both played sports in college and everything. So, I mean, we want sports, but yet we've just done that with the 2 older kids.
I remember you were saying you just like didn't even want to deal with it.
It took up so much time and energy, and I'm giving my kid to someone else to raise in the evenings and on weekends. And it's like, I don't want to do that again. But then it's like, will he resent me that I didn't let him do all the things that all of his friends were doing? But yet I feel like with these 2 kids and us being a family of 4 instead of me being a single parent with the first 2, I feel like there's going to be so many more opportunities for family and like us going, to on big trips and us going scuba diving and us going boating and like doing more things as a family versus like, oh, we got to go sit at a soccer field for 3 hours this weekend. And oh, no, we can't go do that because we have to go over here this weekend. Like, I hated that with the first 2 kids. I felt divided. I felt like Jared was always home with the littles or with another kid while I was always at a turn. We were never a family when my kids played sports. We were always like, and to those people that don't even come in my comment section and be like, go as a family, who the fuck can afford that? I can't take all 4 of my kids on a weekend to go watch somebody else play a sport, pay for a hotel, because that's going to end up being, now that they're older, it's going to be 2 hotels.
Yeah, the gas to go, the travel, the food.
And then pay for food, pay for gas, pay for entry fee to all of these things. Like, so we were always a divided family, and I just don't want to do it again. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, will he resent me that if I don't sign?
Well, I don't. Again, that's fear.
Yes.
But I think unless he's showing that he's really passionate about something, you don't have to worry. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, kids like to play. Kids like to play, and they like to play sports and throw things. And whatever. That doesn't mean that like they want to be on a team and play and actually play it on
Yeah.
a regular basis either. I think if he's asking you, "Hey, I really want to join this team," or "I'm really interested in this," or "I want to play this sport," then maybe you can assess.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe this is something we could try and see if you like it. But if he's not even like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even worry about it at this point because he
I
doesn't seem to really.
no, I mean, when you can pass and catch, I might think about it, but
Yeah, I mean,
what
I
are
don't
we
think
gonna
you have to
watch?
worry about it.
You have turnovers, so yeah, it's just it's starting because like okay, here's the example, and then we can move on. I went over to the neighbor's house, and the neighbor was like, "Did you sign him up for soccer this year?" And I was like, "No." Did you? Are you going to sign him up for basketball? Because basketball sign up, we have like 5 days to decide. She's like basketball, and I'm just like, he's 6. Like, what league? Like, we're gonna go watch them carry the ball, travel the ball. Like, if I was gonna go watch him do drills, okay, but I'm gonna go watch him play basketball and do all things wrong, double
Right.
dribble, run with the ball, throw the ball like over and back. No, 10
Yeah.
seconds in the lane. Like, we're not teaching them anything at 6. I don't know. I'm just kind of against it.
And that's fine. So then you have to trust that. You have
Yeah,
to trust your instinct. You know your kids, you know what's going to
yeah,
work for you and your family. And also it's one of those things that might evolve over time. Like right now it doesn't sound like it's really
no,
the right fit for anybody. If in 5 years he's
yeah,
really interested in it, then you can reassess, but I feel like here's the thing, and I can already see this starting with you. Because you moved to a very nice area,
yes,
right? You're in an area with people whose status is a thing, right?
absolutely,
Appearances are a thing.
100%. Mhm.
Don't get swept away and caught up in that, right? Like it's so easy to
Yeah,
be the I've got to keep up with the Joneses because that's what everyone's telling you to do. They're all talking about, well, did you do this? Are you going to do
yeah.
this? Are you going to do they like you got to fit in, you got to fit in, you got to fit in. No.
Well, I think the upper hand that I have that so many of these other parents don't have is this is my second time through. Like,
Yes.
you're talking to me about your 1st and 2nd grader. I got a college and a 20
Right.
sitting
Been there,
sitting
done that.
like I've already done this whole, "Oh, we're excited." Like, are you though? Like, just wait. Just wait when you look at your calendar and it's color coded and you don't got a fucking time to go to a restaurant to have dinner with your husband. Just wait. Like, I think I see the writing on the wall and so many of these people don't. And it's just like, I kind of like, I don't know, I don't regret anything I did with my older 2 kids because it was their experience, but if I had a do-over, I just don't think I wanna be gone. Now, again, this is just a rec league, but in my mind, it's like the fast track to being gone every
Right.
single weekend again, and I'm like, "No," so it's I don't know, like, again, I'm not gonna go give money to go watch a kid that can't dribble and catch. Sorry, not sorry. Now,
Yeah.
will we work with him on that? Sure, I coached college basketball. I can teach him basketball. But I also think there's a burnout level too that needs to be addressed. Like you're going to start playing basketball at 6, and then you expect that kid to play it for the next 10 years
Yeah.
and not get sick of it. It's a no for
That is
me.
just a lot with how much
Yeah,
homework. I mean, that the amount of schoolwork that kids get nowadays, it is not like when I grew up. I
yeah,
mean, that in addition to, okay, then you got to be at this practice and then you have a game and then you got to travel and then you got to, I mean, I know some people love it and they
yeah.
live for it and that's great, but it's just not everybody's cup of tea. And like you said, you've done it already and you
Lived it.
just know that like you don't want to live that kind of life and that kind of schedule all
Yeah,
over again.
yeah.
Unless, like I said, I mean, if one of them's just diehard and they're just like, they just love everything about a sport and they just are so passionate and want to be a part of it,
Absolutely.
then what are you gonna do? I mean, then maybe you got to try to nurture that with them, but it
Right.
doesn't sound like that's where they're at.
No, I mean, if
So,
iPads were a sport, my kids would be nailing it. They
yeah.
would be they'd be best in the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they get 4 hours on the way to Tuscaloosa, they get 4 hours on the way home from
Right.
Tuscaloosa, and then
Right.
they got home, they're like, "Can we?" We're like, "No, you're not touching electronic for the next 12 hours," like, absolutely not. So, anyways,
Yeah.
later today, I'm doing my, parenting plan work,
Yes.
and it's the last of its kind. This
Yes.
thing is dying.
So
It's done.
if you guys have been thinking about it or like you heard about it, you didn't sign up yet, get in there now because
Yeah,
a lot is changing. We're in the process of kind of like an overhaul of a
revamp.
lot of our services and a lot of the things that we do. So get into this one, which is it's today and tomorrow.
Yeah, today and
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's recorded. It's 2 hours today, 2
So you
hours
get the
tomorrow.
replay.
It comes with a workbook, and I'm retiring it. I've done
Yeah.
it for 2 years. and I'm ready for a change. I'm ready to move on to something else. So this workshop is for somebody that just started their divorce process, is wanting to go back for modification if they're already divorced. It's really for anybody that is in a divorce co-parenting journey. If you ever are thinking about going back for a modification later, or if you're just in the midst of your divorce, you're kind of confused, like, what step am I on? Where am I at? What am I doing? Like, what does that mean? I'm too intimidated by my attorney to ask those questions. I just don't know. This is the workshop for you. I'm really going to dumb it down. And with it being the last one, I'm going to overshare. I'm going to over deliver. I'm just going to make it like the best ever. It's located in everywhere I'm found, SamanthaBoss.com. It's in the link trees of wherever you're watching this. I just put it in the comment section. And again, this is the last month. Today and tomorrow, it's the last time I'm doing it. I'm going to do a different type of workshop in November and December of this year. And then we'll see what 2025 has. But this workshop, it's been my bread and butter. It's been my favorite thing to sell. It's been my favorite thing to do. It's the cheapest thing I offer. It's $147 for 4 hours. I mean, I think that breaks down to like less than $30 an hour. You're going to listen to everything you need to know about what is a parenting plan. Why do you want me to have these details, Sam? Why is my high conflict person so annoying? I mean, my parenting plan, you guys, was 4 pages long. It was sucked. And that's why I was in court 300 other times, because my parenting plan wasn't built for the type of situation I had. And everybody's situation is different. But if you're following us, most likely you are somebody that deals with high conflict. You are somebody that deals with not respect on the other end. You're dealing with somebody that is trying to alienate you away from your children, doesn't like you, doesn't speak highly of you. And those things are a lot to deal with. So having a parenting plan that gives you that backbone is critical. So check out the link.
Protecting yourself. Yeah.
It's going to be the last one of its kind. And I am retiring it. Like, I'm just done. Like, I'm nervous about walking away from it because I love it so much, because I see people when they take it, the amount of feedback I get is like
raving reviews.
Holy shit. Like, holy shit. I've had one complaint in 2 years of this workshop. And it was just the other day because somebody didn't like that I cuss like a sailor during it. So if you don't like cursing,
for everyone, that's okay.
Maybe don't show up if you don't like cursing. But yeah, that was my only complaint. Otherwise, it's always like this. Holy shit, you gave us that much information. My attorney didn't even tell me that. I had no idea that was able to be asked. Like, I didn't know what that word was. And now I know. The confidence that people feel after this workshop is insane, because now they're not that they're at the same level of their attorney, but they know all the lingo. They know what to ask for. And you now know how to better protect yourself, because you know what you're divorcing. You know what type of person this is. So check it out. It's just, I'm like going to be in this. I'm trying to anticipate how I'm going to feel tonight, knowing it's my last Monday. And then tomorrow will be my last Tuesday ever doing it, because I always do them on Mondays and Tuesdays. And it's going to be done. Yeah. So it'll be a banger for sure. Yeah. As Tracy said, it's going to be a banger. Yes. You're going to want to be there. You're not going to want to miss out. And there's a replay. So if you have to work, it's fine. I'll send you the replay tonight when it's over. So get in there. It's the best $147 you'll ever spend. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I hear nothing but good things about it from everybody who took it.
Yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to mention to you, did you ever drink matcha tea?
No, and I'm in the mood right now. Like, I'm in the place of life where I drink just water, because we took out alcohol, and I don't do dairy. Like, I do a pop. I do 1 pop a day, and the rest is water or like my vitamin drinks. But like, I'm in the mood for I need something.
So I was in the mall with Alora the other day, and there's this tea store, and they give out little samples. And so I was because I have heard people talk about matcha, and I heard that's good for you and this and that. And so I took some samples, and it was delicious. It's like vanilla, got vanilla in it or something. So it's just a powder. You put it in your cup, then you put some hot water on it, and then you mix it up real good. But then I was looking at, okay, what's the health benefits of it? And so I wanted to tell you guys.
Is there only one flavor?
No, there's like lots of different.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, some people probably just get it plain and just like add something to it. But okay. So it says matcha tea offers several health benefits, including it's rich in antioxidants. So it says it's packed with catechins. Don't know what that is, which help combat oxidative stress and inflammation. It boosts your metabolism. It improves focus and calmness. It says the combination of caffeine and L-theanine in matcha promotes alertness without the jitters, leading to a calm yet focused state, which I will have to say that is one of my favorite things about it. I gave up. I used to drink coffee every morning, and I gave it up during lockdown in 2020. I still drink coffee, but it's usually decaf. I just love the flavor of it and the experience. So I'll drink it, but it's decaf. And so there is a little bit of caffeine in here. So on the days that I have to like work, like do this or show up on
Yeah.
camera, I love drinking it because it just gives me that little extra, like my brain gets a little boost, but I don't feel crazy and jittery and like getting heart palpitations. So I love that about it. Number 4, it enhances your mood. It says
Okay.
that L-theanine may also help reduce stress and anxiety, promoting a sense of well-being, which is so crazy because it's like, okay, you're getting caffeine, which usually that aggravates stress and anxiety. But then
Right.
it's like this balance with this L-theanine thing that helps actually promote calmness. It
Okay.
supports heart health. It says regular consumption of matcha may improve cholesterol levels and overall heart health. Detoxifying properties. Love that. It says matcha
Yeah.
can aid in detoxification due to the chlorophyll content, helping to cleanse the body. It boosts immune function. The antioxidants in matcha can help strengthen the immune system, and then it improves skin health. The anti-inflammatory properties may benefit skin health and reduce acne. Hell yeah. So I'm going
Wow.
to be drinking this. I'm going to be like on my, I don't want
You
to do
have
it
to
every
get
day
it at
because I'm afraid to get like used to the caffeine, but
Do you
I
have
like
to
it so
get
far.
it at a, like, health store?
I don't think you have to. I'm sure you can get it online. I
Okay.
think you just want to make sure the quality's good because I've seen some
Yeah.
videos on TikTok and you can tell with the color. Like, for example, if you go to Starbucks and get a matcha something, I don't think that's really like high grade matcha because it's kind of a dull green color. You want it to be like a bright, like think of the chlorophyll, I guess. You want that a bright green.
Yeah.
But it's delicious. And I guess it has a lot of good shit.
So you're drinking in the morning?
Yes, I'll have a
Okay.
little bit only like every few days. Like when I'm working, when I need like the boost and the
Yeah.
focus, I'll
Well, like,
do it.
yeah.
I don't want to do it every day because I don't want my body to get used to the caffeine and then it like not work.
Okay.
Organic matcha. Okay,
Okay.
Alexandra. Yes.
I wonder if they have like I bet they have like a little sampler or something. I just
Yeah.
need something. I need also like something at night. I feel like
Mm.
instead of that hunger, like, oh, I need to eat something before bed or oh, and I don't have that hunger pain a lot, but like it also depends if I eat really clean dinner, like if I eat just a protein and just vegetable, I'm usually like hungry, but I want to like just sip on something. Like I used to do
Yeah.
broth and that was
Yeah.
always like really, really good. And I got away from it since I've been here. And maybe I need to pull it back into my like repertoire. I just need something at nighttime.
Yeah. I mean, broth might be good, or even, I mean, any herbal tea. There's a million decaf
I just
herbal
hate
teas.
spending money on tea and then hating it. Like, when you're like, oh, I'll
Mm.
buy this pack, I'll buy this kind, I'll buy this kind. It's like, so everywhere we went in Tuscaloosa, we were going out to eat and stuff like that. And I'd be like, whatever your most ordered tea is, bring it. Like I'm
Mhm.
trying to do it there. Like just whatever concoction is the most common and the most like loved here. Give me that. And I had some good ones this weekend. I had some really good ones.
Huh.
But you know what I mean? Like when you go and you buy tea and then you get home and you're like, ugh, I don't like that flavor. Now you've just got a whole container of it and I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, there are places you could probably find a little tea shop where they sell like nice loose leaf tea and you can probably try some. They have like
Yeah.
samples and stuff. That's how I found the matcha. I mean, I tried the samples and I liked the vanilla one and
Yeah. I mean, I have like one of those like cool little like crimper things where you scoop up the tea and then I mean, I got all
yeah.
the things for the tea. I got all the things for the tea. I just need to find a tea that I actually like to have at
Yeah.
night. It doesn't also like jack me up and then, make me stay awake. But
Yeah,
there's that.
decaf herbal
Yeah,
tea.
there's
Yeah.
that. So what do we got going on today? I mean, it's our busy week.
Yeah, so we're gonna hop into the next chapter. If you're not in there, today's training is it's called "Don't Stress Over 50-50 Custody: How to Make It Work for You and Your Kids." And this is even if you're in high conflict, because some of
Mhm.
you might be really stressed. Maybe if everything isn't finalized, or you're just starting to get your paperwork done, and you're like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be 50-50." We're gonna talk about how that might not be the worst thing, and how that
Yeah.
can actually benefit your situation and the dynamic that you have with your kids and your ex. So Sam actually has personal experience with that. That's why she's doing this one, because she didn't want 50-50, and then they gave 50-50, but it ended up working out even better than she could have thought, even though it was really
Yeah.
stressful and scary. So get in there if you're worried about that. And as always, so we do it live every Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, and then the replay is always available. So there are, I think, like 15 trainings in there right now, workshops that we've done on a variety of things. You can go to samandleah.com It's the Next Chapter membership, and look through all the replays are listed there so that you can see what we talk about. We have guest speakers come in. I mean, we talk about all kinds of things. But today will be an interesting one.
Yeah, it will. I think it's going to make people feel a little bit better. I mean, I think this day and age in 2024, a lot of the states are switching to standard 50-50, no matter what type of evidence you have. And it's really, really hard to be okay with it when
Right.
like I saw a TikTok this morning and it said it so well. She was just like, to know your kids are going to go without and not get the best care just because the state changed the rule to 50-50, and it's like, oh, that hurts, and I remember that feeling like a gut punch. I remember I was in my office at work and I had just got off the phone, like a voicemail was left of whatever you do, don't check your email today till you're home and you're with your support team. And okay, who tells me that? I'm going to go look in 2.3 seconds. I didn't surround myself with a support person. I'm at work in the middle of, I should have been going to class to go teach. I think I was teaching driver's ed that very next hour. And I had like a 7-minute window. And I went and checked my email and it said 50-50. And that's all I read. And I collapsed on the floor. Now, mind you guys, I think everybody maybe think I'm being dramatic, but our case took 3 years to wrap up. So it was after 3 years of fighting, 3 years of court, 8 days, 43 witnesses, a GAL, 2 psych evals, testimony of 8 days of people coming up over the Christmas holiday. And I didn't find out till April. So we went to court all through the holiday. My whole Christmas break was my case. And then we didn't get the results till April. So I just on a random April 8th, I'm walking around school. That's how many days it took for my case to get resolved. And just walking around and my lawyer says, hey, your results are in, just go home, surround yourself, blah, blah, blah. It's this voicemail. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to go look. And I just remember I collapsed. I woke up to my mom had come to my work. So luckily the guy I was working with had contact information of my mom who was in the same town. She came to me and she's like, let's go home. Like they have it, they're going to take care of. And it was just like, it wasn't something I had anticipated. Both my ex and I had went for sole custody. I went for shared custody at the beginning with just a different visitation schedule. But as soon as he went for sole, my attorney told me I had to go for sole. Otherwise he could win. And so both of us were going after sole, but we had done 50-50 for the whole 3 years. So the judge pretty much just said, hey, in a nutshell, you wasted 8 days of court paying for an attorney for testimony for all those hours because I'm just going to give you what you were already doing. And so I just didn't prepare myself. It was not on my bingo card. And so I was just caught off guard and collapsed. I think I slept for 3 days or was just out of consciousness for 3 days. And like, it was a slow recovery. Like I knew what my kids were going to go through going into a 50-50 schedule. And they did. And I was right. And then I don't say that to be like, oh, I was right. It's sad that I was right. It was sad that what my kids went through with the 50-50 schedule. But it was all supposed to happen that way because now my kids are amazing human beings. They help my business. They help other kids. They help other families with divorce and dealing with that stuff. And they're part of TNC. I mean, they're inside our Next Chapter membership, helping those moms answer questions about what it's like for a kid to be in a high conflict situation. And both of their trainings that they've given are inside of TNC. So their own firsthand experience. They were 1 and 3 when we started a divorce, and now they're 20 and 18. They speak highly of what they went through, and that it was all for a purpose to help other people. And they talk very candidly about their experience. So that training is inside of TNC. So if that's something you
both
want
of
to
them, right? There was a part 1 and a part 2.
Part 2,
Those ones are so powerful because in what other community can you actually get feedback from kids who survived a high conflict divorce and co-parenting scenario, right? Like they were answering questions. They were telling the do's and don'ts. They were talking about what sucked. They were talking about what worked and what really they found helpful. So if you're worried about your kids, get in there. That's worth it alone. Those 2 workshops, that's like 2 hours of listening to kids.
It's more than that because we talked for an hour and a half on the last one because you weren't there.
Oh, right. I wasn't there.
We just kept talking and talking. And I asked the kids, I said, can you go longer? Because they have some really good questions. And they were like, yeah. So they stayed so it's 2.5 hours of my kids talking. And I think it's, yes, they shared some of their own journey, but it was like telling other moms from a kid perspective.
Right.
Of like, you may think this is good, but this is
Right.
how a kid hears this.
Right. Here's how it's affecting them. Here's what
Mhm.
they're seeing. Here's what they're hearing. Here's how they're feeling when you're saying this or doing this, even though you think
Yeah,
that that's what you're supposed to do. It's so much insight that like, where else can you get this? Right. It's almost like
right.
if you're looking for that, like, I really want to know how my kids are handling this or how I can help them better. Go watch those.
Yeah,
And
it
then,
was
I
really
mean,
good.
that's worth it alone. Just those two trainings,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, and they say things that I didn't do well. They say things that their dad didn't do well, that they hated about the system, that they loved about, therapy. Like, they talk straight, but they know that telling the truth is the best option. That way it helps everybody. And I didn't do it all right. I messed up on a lot. And because I was a first time mom going through a shitty divorce, raising kids on my own, like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing either.
Yeah. You
That
didn't have
perspective
anything
thing.
like the next chapter where you
No, I
can
didn't have any
actually access
support.
coaches and resources and
No.
support. And yeah, I mean,
There was so much shame that I couldn't. I don't think I was ever in that place where I felt okay to go to my friends and family and be like, "I'm struggling with this. Like, I'm embarrassed by this. I don't know what to do here." Like,
right.
and so if I could have had a stranger group, like, of strangers that don't know me, I would have jumped on that in 2.3 seconds, because everybody in my side was still married.
Mhm.
Everybody was married. Nobody knew what divorce was like. Nobody was
Right.
like, "Hey, been there, done that." It was like, "Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine." Okay, I'll be fine. And I wasn't fine. So to
Yeah.
have a stranger group of people on the internet that are going through a like-minded event is amazing. So it truly is. I see people in there. Like, I read a question this morning and I was like, "Oh, I know what I want to help this person," and go put the answer. 3 people had already given that, like, kudos.
I know, they're so good. That's
And I
what's
love
cool about
how,
being in there is it's literally like 24/7 support. Like, if you're
yes,
struggling, if you just need a boost, if you need a mindset shift, that's another thing I started using it for is like, here's what I'm thinking, like, how do I look at this in a different way so that I'm not so pissed? Or how do I approach this differently? You have
right,
like a whole group of moms who are
right.
going through the same shit who give really good advice.
Right. I loved it. Like, the first 3 comments, all 3 of them said they empathize with the person that posted. They were like, "I totally see why you're upset. I would be mad too, but here's a perspective." And then we've trained them to, like, find that other perspective. And it is so much easier to find perspective for people when it's not your own story. So, like,
Yes.
the comment section, these women are getting good at helping each other.
Yeah.
And it's that immediate, somebody posts at 2 in the morning, guess what? Somebody else is up at 2 in the morning and they answer. So it's just an amazing group. So a lot of things going on today, guys. You could jump inside the next chapter at any point in time at samandleah.com or thenextchapter.com. You can also jump into my parenting plan workshop at samanthaboss.com. Like, everything, wherever you're watching this, there is a link tree. There is a way to get to us in all of our services, but there is a lot. And going through it alone is just not what we need you to be doing anymore. I mean, there's just so many different perspectives of divorce and co-parenting that it's not a one size fits all, like your attorney has it all taken care of. They're not going to
Mhm.
worry about your mental health. They're not going to worry about your financial health. They're not going to worry about anything other than your paperwork. That's it. They're not going to worry about your kids and how you're handling a high stressful situation over these holidays that are coming up. And that's the other critical thing. Holidays are coming up. And if we know anything to be true, it is that high conflict people love to fuck up holidays.
Mhm.
They will make it about them. They will rob, steal, lie to get more time over the holidays. They will guilt you. They will make you feel bad. They will strip
Mhm.
from you. They will manipulate paperwork. So, to get some support through this holiday season, make that a gift to yourself. If somebody close to you says, "Hey, what are you thinking about for Christmas? What's an idea?" Say, "Hey, I need a gift card for $300," or, "Hey, I need $100." Go get that membership. Come be a part of our TNC. Get as much training, because I think next week the next couple weeks we're doing a training for Halloween, and it may sound juvenile to do a
Yes.
training just for Halloween, but I'm telling you, it's the catalyst to Thanksgiving and Christmas on how you treat Halloween. Will train your high conflict person on what to expect for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Right, which are the big ones. And then we're also doing a transition, how to thrive on transition days, because that's one that has been requested by a lot of our members.
Yeah,
So if your kids struggle on those transition days, or if you struggle on those transition days, that's a training that's going to be in there this month as
yeah,
well. So there's
yeah.
just so much stuff to make your
Right,
journey so much easier.
right. All right, you guys, we're going to take off so we can get ready for that training inside of the next chapter. We will see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.